Thank you very much, Maxwell. Director of Ceremonies, I suppose. Chairperson of the African Union Commission, the Deputy Chairperson, my colleagues, the Chief Executives of the Regional Economic Communities, representative of the African Development Bank, and shall I say, all protocol observed. When I arrived last night, I was told that I was going to be requested to make a response to the chairperson's statement. And it is, I suppose, on behalf of my substantive colleague who was supposed to make it, Ambassador Richard Sesibera, the Secretary General of the East African Community. I thought it's a pleasure because Richard and I and Thomas, we constitute the, shall I call it, the Holy Trinity. Holy Trinity with regard to the architecture that we have, what we call the tripartite arrangement. So I will then proceed to respond on his behalf and on behalf of my colleagues, the Chief Executives of the Regional Economic Communities. Firstly, let me say that how happy we are to be here, and that we are extremely happy. It's an auspicious occasion because we do understand there will be elections for your position and others, Chairperson. And let me say that we wish you all the best in advance of the elections. Of course, we cannot determine the outcome of the election, but as regional economic communities, and I think I'm speaking on behalf of my colleagues here, we can say that you have done with your colleagues an excellent job, and we commend you for that most of the time. And if I were to be asked at another fora, I will repeat what I have said because it is not a secret. We know that you have all done an excellent job. And secondly, to say that we commend the Joint Secretariat for the African Economic Community, that is the African Union Commission for Africa, and simply say that the challenges that will face the Joint Secretariat, including ourselves, is to ensure that we deliver on the vision of our leaders in Africa, because they have decided that the time has come for Africa to claim the 21st century. But the claiming of the 21st century by Africa, because it is a century, for Africa, will not be by accident. It should be through concerted, efforts and deliberate programs that are results-oriented. So there is the challenge that, as Rex would like to say, you have as the Joint Secretariat, including the African Union Commission. Therefore, the implications of this, colleagues and Chairperson, is that we can no longer do business as usual. It is going to be business unusual in the sense that we should move away from being process-based to being results-based. Because I get the impression, rightly or wrongly, that most of the time what we are engaged in are processes and not results. And I think that needs to change. It is against this background, colleagues, that I would like to also say we should take a leaf from our principals, the heads of states and government, because this summit, which will be taking place this month, focuses on economic issues. And the fact that for the first time we have the theme of the summit is boosting intra-African trade, and this is a subject that has been there since the Lagos Plan of Action and the final Act of Lagos, and also the Abuja Treaty, and also the Constitutive Act. I think it means that we have come of age, and therefore, if that be the case, there will therefore be implications on how the African Union Commission, together with the members of the Joint Secretariat, work with us to ensure that the dreams of our principals, of the citizens of this continent, are realized. It is against this background, therefore, that I would like to, on behalf of my colleagues, to suggest that perhaps what should be done is that we should define the role of the African Union Commission, the Economic Commission for Africa. I think the role of the African Development Bank is fairly clear in terms that they are providing funding. But I'm saying this against the background, and I looked at the agenda for the Council this morning. I browsed through it, and I found that it has got more than 60 ministerial reports. And the question I asked myself was, should really the AU be doing that, or it should be, as an interlocutor, really be delegating to the regional economic communities to do that? Because the regs are the implementing, arms of the AU. As I say, I am unorthodox in what I say, but I hope it will be taken in good spirit, because I'm saying it with my colleagues, because we have discussed this, that we need to have that defined relationship and apply the principle of subsidiarity so that we can move forward. Because I can say this, and my colleagues will confirm it, that there is a consensus now that the African Union, among the international community, that it plays that critical role, and that it must provide the leadership in terms of continental integration, in terms of peace and security. On peace and security, yes, something is being done, and we're also part of that. But I think we need to be more proactive and innovative so that we don't allow a situation whereby the external parties come because there is a vacuum in terms of being proactive and moving at speed, and they occupy that vacuum and create the problems that we have in quite a good number of the countries in the continent.